Are you looking to level up your author business?
Are you pounding your head against a wall, wondering what your next step should be? Then join me, Daniel Wilcox.
And me, Sacha Black, as we haul ass each week in a bid to level up.
Level up!
Come along for the ride as we delve deep into the business of writing,
Craft,
entrepreneurship,
and every level of the author journey. This is the Next Level Author podcast.
Oh, it's
Cool.
live.
Yeah, we are live.
Do you want to like
messy as it always is? Oh, you want me to start? Is what you're saying?
Could you actually start now?
Hello,
Yeah.
Achievers, and welcome to episode number 52 of the Next Level Authors podcast, a podcast where we hold each other to account and track our step-by-step progress as we level up our author business. My name is Daniel Wilcox, and here with me every week is
Sacha fucking Black.
And we have a special episode today because we have some guests on the show. So we've got Holly, Cassie, Yanni, Brett, Sam, and whoever is joining us on the Facebook group. I have no idea how to check this, and I'll do that in a minute when I stop my ramble. But yeah, anniversary episode, Sacha. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I can't believe we're 52 years, 52 weeks old. 52. I feel 52 years old. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we were saying just before we started recording, like how it, like we say this a lot on the show, but like how it does not feel like a year since we started recording this, because our first few episodes that we recorded were pre-pandemic, but at the same time, it was a very typically rushed thing of me and Sacha throwing out the idea of, hey, maybe, a podcast sometime. And then we went onto a chat that was, I don't know, we came off like 15 minutes later going, oh, maybe we'll make this work. Maybe we won't. 15 minutes later, we were like, right, I'll do the theme. You do this. We'll set the format. We need to come up with a name. I'll get the artwork. And it just literally just exploded off the bat.
Yeah.
Do you have fond memories of that time?
I mean, a year later, wow. Yeah, a year. We are.
I just thought of the perfect question that I should have asked. And I'll ask it now.
Well, ask
do you have
it then.
regrets?
Yes. No, of course I don't. No.
Well, that's how it was
Do
started.
you?
Do I have? Doesn't really matter. So, how's your week been?
Oh wow! I guess we feel mutually regretful about this situation. Then, yeah.
I feel like right. No, I'll answer that seriously. I feel very, very happy that it happened because a lot of the good stuff that happened during the pandemic was because of this podcast. So, you listeners, the people who are actually listening on the podcast, people who are in Facebook, maybe that I need to check in a minute. But yeah, a lot of good things came out of this podcast, and I'm really happy with it. So yeah, it helped with a really crappy year of lockdown.
Yeah, it did. It definitely kept me going when the times were bad. We have got live viewers, I have checked. So yeah. So for people watching live, do feel free to comment. We will be watching the comments, and we're going to do a Q&A at the end. So if you want to ask questions, you absolutely can. And for patrons who are here, feel free to drop questions in the chat as well. Okay, Dan, over to you, because it is technically you running the show.
How's your week been, Sacha?
Well, I finished my book.
Laid the
Yeah,
hydra.
I literally, yeah, I did. I cannot explain to you how much I needed that win, and the finishing of the book. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I pretty much cut social media. I didn't reply to everybody. My inbox is a festering wart of fullness, and so yeah, I'm very behind in any other aspect of life. But I did the thing, and I finished the book, and it was a lesson to me that I do allow far more notifications than I should whilst I'm working. And it's not about not replying, it's just about replying at the appropriate time. I don't have to reply in the middle of the day when I'm supposed to be writing words. So I'm trying very hard to continue that now, because shocking fucking revelation, I'm still getting loads of work done working this way. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep it to the evening. Or first thing in the morning. So yeah, I mean, anything else about this week? Oh, I'm redoing my kitchen. Apparently it's I hope you like the color.
What color
How
is it?
Your week?
What's the ridiculous color of the paint?
so that's a story. So we've put like the sort of, do you know how many shades of white there are? Like,
Yes,
oh my
I used
God,
to
there
work
are
at
so many
B&Q.
shades of white. Fuck, I was like, what, how can they be this many? And then it was all like mind-blowing as I was like, oh look, actually this shade doesn't work with these colors. Anyway, so I'm doing like this geometric mountainscape up the feature wall in the kitchen. Of course I am. And we're going from like black at the bottom, like just with the odd bit of like dark gray, and then there's going to be like dark gray and then lighter gray. And then I've also got, I just fucking went for it, and I got furniture paint that's literally silver. So I'm also going to have like some silver specks, only a tiny bit, just, like highlight it and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm like super excited for it. But Chloe has done pretty much all of the hard work today. I helped her about 2.5 hours doing the like neck breaking bit at the top, and she's done everything else. So yeah, she's been amazing. And then I get to do the fun thing tomorrow of frog taping the wall and making pretty patterns. Anyway, How's your week?
Mine, yep, it happened. I just wanted to say a quick hello to Bobby, Andrew, and Faye, who have joined us over on Facebook, and say things.
Yay.
But yeah, my week's been, I don't know. It's been one of those weeks where I've like got lots done, but obviously I turned 30 on Friday. That was fun. Sam, who is here, turned 29 yesterday.
Well done.
Yanni, you turned 17
Yes,
on
you
the
did.
24th. And then Lynn
Yes.
turned her age on the 23rd. So it's been a week of birthdays and celebrations and fun. And I've probably forgotten someone. Holly's son turned an age yesterday. So, we're all turning ages. But yeah, so I took most of Friday, Saturday and Sunday off, and just try to enjoy whatever I wanted. I had the kiddo at the weekend. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, just... I don't know. I'm in a weird transition because I finished the first draft of Self-Publishing Blueprint, and that's been in the hand of beta readers, and I'm getting really positive feedback from that. And then I'm trying to work out where I go in terms of my launch strategy for that. I wrapped up a short story for my anthology. Now it's all pouring out the things I'm doing. Finished a short story for my anthology. The deadline for submissions was last night, so I've got readers going through that at the minute and working through and starting to sort of filter the better ones from the not so great. And then I'm also about to dive into the edits of When Winter Comes, which is kind of a long time coming. So there's a lot going on. There's even more going on in the background with sort of like client work and stuff, but it's good. It's just busy, and I'll just keep plowing on, I guess.
No, this is really weird to like be recording this and then being watched. Like I'm feeling a bit unnerved, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And we also have Nathan and Adam join us as well. Hey guys.
Yay, hello.
So what have you enjoyed this week?
Oh fuck. You didn't prepare me with this before.
I mean, we've had 52 episodes of this format.
You did not prepare
Tell a lie.
me.
We didn't actually introduce the thing that we've enjoyed until, I don't know, episode 12, when it was like your idea. And I was like, let's not do this because we'll never prepare. And you're like, let's do it. So
amazing. So why don't you start with that and I will look at what I've read this week.
I didn't say I prepared. I've been reading Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked This Way Comes. And I've enjoyed it because it's a tremendous story. I'm about halfway through it at the minute. But at the same time, it has sticky points in terms of like I really like well-written prose, and I really like sort of beautiful language, sort of really rich imagery. But it is slightly too much for me because it slows down my actual reading of the story, because there are certain turns of phrase, there are certain ways in which action and plot takes place, in which a few lines later I have to go back and reread because I've actually missed what the point of what he was trying to say was, because it was so elegant that it just wasn't on the nose enough for me to go, oh, that's because of this. But, I'm a massive fan of Bradbury. Fahrenheit 451 is one of my favorite books of all time. And it's just, it's a really, really great story. It's just, I wish it was dialed down a little bit, but then it wouldn't be Bradbury if it wasn't. So that's my thing. Have you got one?
Well, I feel like I may have said The House of Hollow last week, so I'm not going to say that. So we went to the chiropractor on Saturday, and I literally love being bent into strange shapes. I literally, it's the best thing ever. I like flung myself at him as he like opened the door. And I'm pain-free again, which is amazing. So I'm really enjoying being pain-free, and not, having headaches first thing in the morning that last
How long
all the
does that
way
last
through
for?
to about 3 months. I have to go back about every three and a half months. So basically what happened is I had like an intensive, like 6, I think, appointments, 3 in 1 week. And then like the last 3 were sort of spread out like more of a week or so apart. And then I just top up. But every time I go back, it's not like usually it's, I don't go back to where I was at the beginning. Because I had like a 12-year whiplash. Which had caused me problems for like 12 years. Anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed that. However, that day gets better. So in this world of like complete and utter fucking lockdown and social like deprivation, we obviously moved house, and so we lost one of my favorite shops, which is Costco. And anyway, we basically decided that because we were in Stevenage and we were going to continue to see the chiropractor, and my favorite bookstore is there, like a really big one that's got good YA stuff. Oh my God, I just pulled out like several hairs. We joined up to Costco and I got like a mango smoothie, and it was amazing. And I really, really love Costco mango smoothie, and it made me very happy. And that is the end of my story. Thank you. You're welcome.
Lockdown's done strange things to you, Sacha.
I know.
Weekly confessional. Sacha Black will work on side characters and back up her files. And also granted that we've had an additional 3 extra days to get this done.
I backed up all my book files. So that was the important thing. I haven't backed up like my podcasting files, but they are in... No, they're in 2 places anyway, so they're backed up. But yeah, so I backed up the book files, and not only did I work on it and finish the book, so bonus points for me.
Nice. And we've got Rianne joining us as well. Mine was to finish my short story and assess my finances, which check. Managed to just get the story done last week, just in time to submit to my own anthology. I think I'd be okay if I'd missed that deadline, but I managed to get it done, and then been through and just looked at all my finances and tried to see where I am and where I need to go, because obviously I'm looking at buying a house and I'm running this business, so I need to make sure that I'm on top of things. And
why isn't Rianne in here? Shouldn't she be in here?
She hates us.
Oh. Come back. Well done on the finances and the short story. I still can't believe that you wrote like a 4K short story in about 3 minutes on one day. Deeply impressive.
Yeah.
Very irritating.
It's a good Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, it's fine. Patreon update. Welcome back to the madness, Laura Kendrick, who's become a patron again this week. And obviously, hello to you wonderful patrons for joining us on this video. So if you're not already a patron and you want to get early access to episodes, get involved in stuff like this, and get our monthly live Q&As, then go over to patreon.com/nextlevelauthors. Level ups. So I picked on one of my boot campers this week, Renee, who sent over that she finally sent book 3 to the editor and started tracking her daily word count in a spreadsheet about halfway through the month. In a month where she feels like she hasn't written much or accomplished anything, it's nice to look at it and realize that she's managed to get 14,000 words in somehow. If it hadn't been for boot camp. There you go. Nice little self-plug on the anniversary episode. What's next? Oh, another level up.
Hang on a second.
So,
I was going to say, should we not see if any of our patrons have level ups? Does anyone have a level up that they want to share?
Brett,
Okey-dokey.
share your level up with us.
Yeah, so I've just finished tonight completing my all my promo for my business launch on April the 6th, and hoping to live stream that to multiple services all at the same time.
Nice.
So, yeah, good
Amazing.
fun.
Congratulations. And what is it? Where's the link? Where can people find you?
They can find me at bretishbooks.com. So that's Brett with 2 T's, ISH books.com. And all the promo will go out on social media as well, at British Books on all your favourite channels.
There you go. Wicked, Brett. Well done. Anyone else got
There's
one they want to
another
share?
one. Faye's got one in the comments.
Oh, do you want to read it since you're there?
Yeah. Faye says, my website and prequel are live. Congratulations.
Go check out fayetrask.com and get your free prequel. This is just a plugging hour. Anyone else
It
got one they
is.
want to share? Holly.
I launched my 3rd series this week.
Wowza!
Oh, hell yeah.
That's amazing.
Tell us about it. What's it called?
And the first book is called The Hidden City, and it's part of the Jones and Maxwell case files, and it's kind of Dresden Files-y, dark urban fantasy, male anti-hero, demons, shifters, dark twisty things going on.
All the good stuff.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, well done. And Cassie, did you have one as well?
I did. I actually got my ebooks on my website to sell directly.
Hey,
That is
Nice.
amazing.
sweet. Any more for any more? Okay, we'll leave it there. Comments from last week. So the question was on my sheet. What did your past careers teach you?
Okay, so we have Carrie who said, this is going to make me sound so jaded. People can be awful and insanely entitled, but that's because I worked retail for 16 years and had to deal with people who think workers in that field can be treated like crap because grocery cashier is a real job. Also, the amount that co-workers can call ridiculous. I made up my mind to come to work, do my job and get the fuck out because all that nonsense was not worth dealing with. That said, I now have no shortage of models for shitty people to throw into my books. Nathan Scammell had like a similar career. So he also worked in retail, but discovered that like money isn't everything. Money doesn't equal happiness. Meg Jolly said, hated my past careers, but grateful for them in hindsight. So they taught her that, I'm going to read it in first person, otherwise I'm going to sound weird the whole time. I don't fit into society. That upset me for a long time until I realized it was my superpower. I'm not meant to have a day job. Neither am I. And I never will again. My calling is to find a higher purpose and meaning through creativity. I make money doing this because money means I don't have to go get a job to pay bills. Number 2, you have to make the effort. No one else is going to set up your life for you. Go get what you want, or you're wasting your time, and the hamster wheel of life will chew you up and spit you out with a whole load of regrets. Number 3, find your tribe. People are wonderful. The right people are incandescently so, and I'm grateful for this indie tribe. 4, you can make yourself rich, fulfilled, financially, whatever, or you can sacrifice your life at making someone else rich. Yeah, I have served my time earning screw all to make a nice profit for someone else's second house in Spain. Number 5, life is too short. Do all the bloody things. Have fun. I nearly said something else then. Say yes, quit the job you hate, scream with fear as you run into the blind unknown, but just go bloody do it all, because what's on the other side of holding yourself back from what's on the other side of holding yourself back from fear is so much better. Oh yes it is. And then Edwin said, last one, I'm supposed to have had a career by now. I've had a number of jobs, but nothing I'd class as a career. So what have I learned? I learned I could push myself to do jobs that scared me. I've learned the value of get it done. I've learned how easy it is to get off track and the need to maintain focus on the main things. I've learned I'm a people pleaser and need to outside motivational factors to push past those spots I'd otherwise stop over. There we go.
Beautiful. Thank you everyone for your comments. And just to throw out there as well, see that Yanni put a level up in the comments here. It says she returned to work. She's now multitasking with her 9 to 5 and a side business, which is exciting.
Yeah,
Okay, this week's question. It's really difficult to pick a question for episode 52 because I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on this. But ultimately, we started this podcast because we wanted to level up Next Level Authors. We wanted to hold each other to account, similar positions in our business. Let's see where we can push ourselves. And after 51 episodes of Next Level Authoring, my question to you is, which episode had the most impact on you?
Oh, see, now we're going to have this long silent. we
What, we
can't
can't
edit
edit now?
out. Yeah, because it's live. Wasn't it episode 37? It was 37, not 34. Anyway, right, okay, so there were 2 episodes. I don't know what number they are. Do you need to know the number?
I mean, not necessarily. I can find it while you're talking if you want to.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to pick one from you and one from me, just because I like to cheat. So the one that you asked me was the one recently about why nonfiction, like why write nonfiction. And the reason I liked the question is because it made me think about fiction.
You went on a whole deep tangent
like
there.
literally like a whole raft of epiphanies. But sometimes you have this way of asking questions, and like I don't know where I'm gonna go because we don't prep each other, so we never know like what the fuck we're gonna ask. And it's just like that. Yeah, I don't know. We're just allowed to go and think about it, aren't we? Like whilst rambling and talking out loud, which is what I do best. So, the reason I loved it is because I haven't stopped thinking about my answer to that question since you asked it. I don't know how many weeks ago it was, 2, 3 maybe. Anyway, and since then I've been binge reading contemporary young adult fiction, and I have started writing contemporary young adult fiction, and well, like the one book that's like just a cotch of like magical realism or whatever. I don't know. And I just think like it was a shift. It was a realization. And that's the thing. Like sometimes these episodes are realizations. Sometimes they're like mindset shifts. Sometimes they're just reminders. And all of them are needed because there is this space. This is like half an hour or an hour a week where we get to sit down and reflect and think. And I don't give myself enough of that time. And it was a very sharp reminder that I'm probably not going to stay in the same genre, and that's okay, and I have permission to do that. And sure, like maybe it will take me longer to grow my fiction because I'm going to write in several young adult genres, and maybe I'll write in adult, I don't know. But yeah, so that one is still having an effect on me, that question. And so for that reason, I think like that was a very effective question. Even if I didn't necessarily come to the right conclusion during the episode, like it had an effect on me. And the other one was my question that I can't remember how I worded, but it was basically the one, oh fuck, what was like, it was, hang on a second, I might have to go to YouTube. Yeah, I know. So the question was like, what are you not doing or something? What are you, hang on a second, I'm going to our thingy. It was, cat's legged it. Oh fuck. Our cat's legged it. What are you putting off? That's what I asked. What are you putting off? Now, I am like a super active, like really fucking driven person, right?
No.
I know. Like, it's shocking revelation here. But
lazy bitch.
that doesn't matter, because even me who like gets up every day and is like, what am I going to destroy today? You know, like, what am I going to smash out every fucking day? I wake up like that every day. And still I put shit off. And it was like, I didn't realize that I did that until I asked you that question. And I was like, oh shit. Like, actually I was asking, but really it was me that was like putting the stuff off. And so yeah, like sometimes I feel like I might ask you questions and really I'm asking me the question. But yeah, so that question, like, and I'm not sure, I can't even remember what I said I was putting off. Like maybe it was the reader magnets, probably the reader magnet.
I think it was website and stuff as well.
Oh yeah, and then I did all that stuff, see? And now I'm making like a shit ton of money from web sales like every single month, which is nuts. So yeah, like I fucking love that. The thing that I love most about this is that when we ask each other the question and then we have like a realization of like, oh yeah, I like need to do that. Actually, no, we have to go and do that, because then like we actually check on each other and it's really annoying and actually really effective. And so yeah, like I have actually done a load of things that I probably wouldn't have done because of you. So cheers, buddy.
Merry anniversary.
Yeah, paint on me everywhere. What about you?
Mine, so I mean, I will sort of, what's the word, drill home the point that when we ask these questions, we do often forget to ask ourselves the questions before we ask a question on the podcast. So we don't even think about our own answers to these questions. And like, it's unbelievable how ill prepared we are for this. Like, but I think part of that's a testament to just like what we're saying about how busy the work can make you, even if it's not necessarily productive. So having half an hour to an hour where you can just chat, it doesn't even have to be this podcast, but like if you're listening to this and you want to just chat with a writer friend about something, like it's infinitely useful, because you just give yourself permission to sit and think and ask yourself the questions that you should be asking yourself. Thank you, Cassie. Cassie says that we pull it off well despite being unprepared, which that's what we go for. It's what we go for. We are swans,
Organised
just like pedaling our
chaos.
legs beneath the water. But my I agree with all of that wholeheartedly, just the reflection part, and that I think has just benefited tenfold everything that I've been doing. But the question that I think had the biggest impact on me was what have you learned about selling yourself, which was episode 27, because I still do kind of have a bit of a weird relationship with money and selling and value and all that kind of stuff. But it was around that time that I was launching my boot camps and looking more at sort of the author services side of things. And I remember being in my old house and being a bit sort of trepidatious about putting my toes into those ponds. And it was just the time to sit there and go, okay, like, and think about what value are you actually adding, where it's just very, very difficult to get yourself into the mindset from going like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff to help people for free, to something like, I'm worth money for my time. And I think the rest of the episodes thereafter have just kind of been a culmination of progression of that. I mean, in one of our most recent ones, we were saying about how there's literally barely any time to do all the things we want to do. So now it's kind of like, in a really, really crass way, it's like, pay me or don't, because I'm really sorry. I'm running out of time to do the things that I want to do.
I'm running out of time to shave my legs, let alone, do things for free.
Me too. And
I know, right?
Oh, God, they're so hairy. Chewbacca down there. But yeah, I just distinctly remember around that sort of period, just a lot of thoughts of what are better ways to sort of monetize what I'm doing. And before that, it had all been a case of me going, okay, I'd like to make an income solely off fiction. And then after that point, it was very much, okay, it doesn't like, maybe it's not the best use of my time, or maybe it's not the most effective way to sort of create that sustainable income stream that I want to, by just focusing solely on fiction and diversifying and sort of capitalizing more on the other things that I can do. So it had a big impact in that way, in that it shifted my mindset and kind of helped me go down this route to where I am now. And I'm definitely in a much better place financially than I was then, and sort of just mentally. And I think when you start going into author services, there's always it's always going to be difficult to overcome imposter syndrome and to suddenly be like, feel that value. And over time that has generally eased, and it's been really reaffirming to sort of work with authors and have them come back and give positive testimonials about ways in which, I've been able to benefit them somehow. So yeah, it kind of all unlocked from episode 27, which is almost halfway through, a little bit over halfway through the year.
1 week over halfway through, to be exact.
That's not exactly episode 26, but that's fine. Oh, there you are.
So
right.
I said 1 week over. See?
I was looking at the wrong side of that. Anywho, so what I want to do, and I don't know if any of you guys will have had time to think while you've been sat there, but if anyone wants to answer the question, which episode had the biggest impact on you, patrons, then feel free to stick a hand up and let us know. If not, we'll edit this bit out and make it less awkward.
Well, what I was thinking is that we could show a certain something whilst we are, whilst everybody is thinking, and then we can then answer the first patron question, which has come in advance, and then we can answer everybody else's question. So we have a video to show you that was made by the incredibly talented Yanni, and it's sort of a look back, a recap, I actually also am like mildly embarrassed about the number of chins in some of these clips, but anyway, that aside, like I'm looking a bit more svelte now these days. That aside, this is the fucking best, and if you like our Easter eggs, you are going to adore this video. So let's hope this works.
And if you're listening on the podcast, we're going to cut it from here so that you don't have the part where you can't actually see it. And I highly recommend going over to our YouTube channel and checking it out.
Yes, where it will be live when this episode goes live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm like, is this going to work? Is this going to work? Can you like check on Facebook just to make sure this works? Okay, right.
Are you looking to level up your author business?
Are you pounding your head against a wall, wondering what your next step should be? Then join me, Daniel Wilcox.
And me, Sacha Black, as we haul ass each week in a bid to level up.
Level up.
Come along for the ride as we delve deep into the business of writing,
Craft,
entrepreneurship,
and every level of the author journey. This is the Next Level Author podcast.
Don't fuck up, no pressure.
Bum 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 bum. Smash this fucking positivity. Number 4. Up your positivity.
I love this episode. You guys have such a great relationship. Do we though? But do we?
No.
Barely
Store-bought.
like you. I know. How are you this week, buddy?
I was good until I was attacked with some passive aggressiveness, and now I'm a little bit shunned. But
How are we still friends?
I genuinely don't know. Also, on a
Okay.
professional podcast, someone would likely condense all of that laughter into just like a few seconds, but I'm leaving every second of this.
No, you actually, the poor listeners. Anyway, let's move
Wait.
on. I hate you so much right now. I'm a pretty pink princess. Me. Yes, me.
We're not refilming this. This is where we're at. I can
Oh,
hear
man.
everyone just unplugging their headphones and running to YouTube. I feel sick. Wow, is this how you felt? Just like really like
Horrible,
repellent
isn't it?
against yeah.
You don't want to fail again, do you?
Okay. I, Daniel Wilcox, have to say these things because no matter how much I'm encouraged, I will never admit to my skills, value, or strengths, despite having an embarrassingly large number of them. Wow.
This should be Maleficent, bitch.
Gonna get real bitchy. Bring it. You done bring it, I'll bring it. Let's both bring it to the table and see who leaves last. We gon' have a slap fight! Oh my god. Don't take it anymore.
LSD going through a tunnel at 100 miles an hour trip of just like so that's gonna be a fucking gif at some point.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, it's me. How
Got
are
a
you?
proper little like Tintin quiff.
Aw.
Yeah.
Look at that power couple.
Is that what
Oh.
we are now? Is that what we are?
Power couple, mate. I'm taller than you as well. Just got that right.
I love that we're both Pisces.
I'm an Aries, but that's fine.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, yeah. I started going through a lot of like reading. Let me just answer your question.
You're an Aries.
I fucking know. I told you.
Oh, wasn't that amazing, Yanni? Huge round of applause. That was
Oh my
absolutely
God.
spectacular. I was laughing all over again. Oh, like I literally have tears of like laughter. Faye says so hard. Yeah, and said work partners. Andrew said that was fucking awesome. I literally, it was like the best. And we also tried in true next level author style, we tried to record a thank you video and still fucked up. So there was a blooper in Yanni's thank you video. So
Just total pros through and through.
oh my god, I've got like a headache right now. That's so hard.
Back to the chiropractor.
Yeah, I've been like, well, I was trying not to laugh because my mic was on. I don't want to mute my mic just in case it muted the audio. So I was like,
you did well
the whole time.
You did very well. There we go. So if people would like to answer the question, feel free, hands up. If not, then we can just roll. Let's roll. It is. Okay, so how are we leveling up our author business this week?
Oh shit! This is like, yeah, we have to.
52 episodes, Sacha.
No, I just, yeah, no, it's a good point. I am going to work on.
You say side characters, I'm going to headbutt
you. Side characters workbook.
So you're going to finish side characters workbook, yeah?
No, fuck you. I am not committing to
you
finishing
couldn't finish it.
Oh wow, we're going there. Wow. Okay. It's the Easter holidays, so I'm not gonna commit to that. I'm gonna work on the side characters workbook, and let's see what else is in my thing here. You're gonna have to go, and I'll think of something else.
I am going to start editing when winter comes, so I'm going to be getting through that. I've got 20,000 words of ghostwriting to do. And also I need to respond. This is going to be really sort of, what's the word? Just not very clear. I need to respond to a client about a possible opportunity.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to work on side characters workbook. I am going to do my end of year taxes.
Yay!
Yeah, yay. And then get a whacking great big fucking tax bill. Fuck you, governments. Fuck you. Fuck you, Rishi, for making it 25% for people as well. Cheers, wankers. Anyway,
happy anniversary!
Yeah. Let's not get into politics. Whoa, this is exciting. I'm getting aggressive with the water. Let's move on.
Okay. So obviously the question we're asking all of you guys is the question that I asked now, which is the question I forgot the wording for, which is the one that I'm stalling.
Which episode had the biggest
impact on you? And we're not going to close it off here because we're going to go for a Q&A. So Cassie, you sent over a question. Did you want to ask that live, or do you want us to ask it for you?
Well, hang on. Let's just remind people watching that if you now have questions, now is the time to drop them into the comments whilst we're then answering this first question.
Yes.
I can ask it if you'd like. Okay, so in the spirit of leveling up, from 1 year ago today, what was the most impactful thing you did for your business that you hadn't done before? Mic drop.
Mine sounds like something I should have been doing anyway, but it's properly tracking my income and looking. So I think it was what I said probably about September time last year when I actually started treating my business like a business, and putting systems in place to actually run it, maintain it, know what was coming in and what was going out. Around that time as well, I sort of worked on a rudimentary business plan just to kind of work out where I was heading. Because like I say, up until that point, it was all fiction. And it was around then that I started sort of twisting into just seeing the actual business side of things. But once I started tracking my income, I can then easily, at the end of each month, just go, okay, what is it that's, contributing to the biggest chunk of what am I doing? Because ultimately, when we're doing this kind of work, and obviously there are things that we want to do because we enjoy them. So writing's always going to be a thing that I do. But there's always going to be a part of you that's how can I maximize my income with the minimum time expenditure? You're always going to want to step that up. So actually physically seeing the numbers on a sheet in terms of what's delivering, what isn't, what I should double down on, helped to guide a lot of what I was doing. So it was probably that. It was probably just putting in some spreadsheets and paying attention to them. Wow, that's boring. You'll go, Sacha.
I'm not sure. So I think the thing that I haven't reaped the benefits from yet, but that will have a significant impact, is forcing myself to start recording the audiobook of like one of my non-fiction audiobooks. So obviously I was meant to finish it by the end of this month. That's not going to happen because I got sick and my voice was croaky, and then it took 2 weeks instead of 1 week to feel like I had audio voice health back. And you can't just have health back, you have to have tip-top health, because obviously it's really strenuous on your voice. But I was putting that off, and I forced myself to do it because I was scared of doing it and doing it wrong. And in forcing myself to do it, I realized that actually it was really easy and I don't know what my fucking problem was. So that was good. And then the last thing that I did in conjunction was outsource the mastering. Yes, I could teach myself, but I'm just gonna fucking pay somebody else to do it, because then it gets done quicker and I can just do the bit that I am good at doing. So that was one thing. There are two others which are quite quick. The second thing was doing Becca Syme's Strengths for Writers. It changed my life. Knowing what my strengths are and coming to accept my strengths has been really difficult, because I still struggle to acknowledge the fact that I'm really competitive, even though I'm really fucking competitive. I still struggle to accept that that's a thing, because everybody gets brought up being told being competitive is a bad thing, but it's little things. I can make myself do stuff if I turn it into a competition. I can get myself to do anything if I just reframe the competition.
I'll get yourself to finish your workbook by Friday.
If that was posed to me in the right way, you absolute wanker. The thing is that I really could, and I would do it. And this is the crazy thing. When knowing my strengths, but it's not just that. It's knowing input as well. Input is probably the biggest difference this year. I have literally doubled the amount that I'm reading. I'm reading 2 or 3 books a week. And all of a sudden I am able to write consistently. I have had between 20 and 30K every month this year. And that has never, I haven't done that in a long time. And I genuinely feel like it's because I'm inputting the right amount. So that has had a massive difference. And all of the different strengths, learning about them and learning their impact on me is making me a better, more effective, more efficient business person. And the last one is the recent one, which is to stop fucking writing with social media open. It's literally shocking, but wow, can I get a lot of stuff done? 4 and 5K days are possible when I don't have social media open. Who'd have thought that?
And lest we forget, finishing things.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Just for both of us, we had a strategy Zoom a couple of weeks ago, and our result was, let's just finish the 12 things that we've currently got going on each. That might help us
we've
speed
both
up.
Finished stuff since then as well. Fucking surprise! Who'd have thought?
Bobby Ann Atwood says, how does 30 feel, Dan?
Old.
I mean, I could joke here, but in all seriousness, it feels fine. I'm aware that for a lot of people in these circles, people think that I'm older than I am, and it's nice to actually be near the age that people think that I am. That I am. So
is that whiskey in that Coke?
There's quite a considerable amount of JD. But it feels good. I don't know if it was on NLA that I told the story, but the short version was when I was sort of 26, 27, I did start freaking out about 30 because of how quickly life was going. And when I was 23, I had Bailey. And then, when you're a young parent, time just goes quickly anyway. So I had a little freak out then. I was still in full-time employment and all that business, and I wasn't really doing anything for me. But since that moment, I've done pretty much everything I possibly can for me to satisfy like just the stuff I want to achieve, to deliver things to like feel fulfilled. And like I feel like I've earned 30, if anything else. Like I'm happy to be here, having had the last 3 or 4 years that I have. So yeah, it feels good. At some point I might be able to grow a beard. That'll be nice.
Didn't Cassie have a second question?
Yeah, go Cassie.
Oh, I did. I didn't want to take up too much time. So what would you like to have this year, looking forward now that we looked backwards, that you lacked in the last year? What would you want to have this coming year?
Organized podcast partner.
A what?
Organized podcast partner.
So I would like to have
I had to.
a new friend. I would like to have audiobooks. I think I'm really like, I need to get the audiobooks done. And I would also like to get over my fear of course creation. Like she says, having done one, but also they really, I like have to deal with a lot of like imposter syndrome. So I would like to have the confidence to do that and to get the fucking audiobooks published. 2 at least. Maybe 3.
I don't know what mine would be.
No, you chose a new fucking podcast partner, so you know.
All right, I'll work on that. No, I don't know what mine would be. I mean, so when we first started recording this podcast, it was when I started to dip back into like focusing purely on horror, because the years before that it had been post-apoc, it had been like sort of a bit of a sci-fi amalgam. And I distinctly remember around sort of April, May last time being like, right, I'm going to focus on horror and make sure that's where I'm going to plant my feet. And over the last year, a lot of good stuff has happened for me in that genre, in terms of like the connection I've made, some of the stuff that's being set up. There's lots of things in the background that doesn't really make it onto this podcast. But I would just like to have more sort of substantial horror books, because despite the fact I've been writing since 2015 and my first novella was a horror novella, this year will be the first year that I have a full solo. Well, it'll be actually be my first solo novel, but it'll be my first sort of solo horror novel. So I'd really like to have a few more horror books behind me that I can really start to push and plug and go forward with that. And one of my big goals is to win a Bram Stoker Award. So I'd like to have more properties that can go towards achieving that. So more space to work on my fiction would be nice. And steps are being made to get there, but that's kind of, I think, where it is. Like, I'd love for my sole focus, if I can, to be fiction, that side, and then sort of client work and other things as well. Any more questions from patrons?
There's questions in the chat thread.
Sam, what one quality that you openly mock of each other's do you secretly envy? You, Sacha.
Okay, either his pace vomiting out words, or his number one individualization, because it's so good, it's irritating, and like his ability to always ask really good questions. Like sometimes I have to message him because I'm like, I can't think of any questions to ask my next podcast guest or whatever. Like he has this way of like coming up with just the best question for the exact right person, and always knows how to like ask the right question in the right way to like get the response that not necessarily the person thinks that they want, but the response that they need. And yeah, like I take the piss sometimes out of, hashtag number one individualization, but actually, you motherfucker, it's so good. It is so good. Like, yeah, I'd kill to have that.
Nice. Next question. Adam Dixon asks, I'm joking. I think two things really. Number one, obviously, like the go-to, I think, is the competition. Like the hunger that you have is insane. And as someone who it takes a lot to make me hungry, because I've spent a long time like learning to be grateful for the things that I have. So growing and next leveling for me is quite a journey, because you have to want to grow. And just seeing like when we were talking strategy and stuff, the fact that you've just got like the next whatever levels just planned out and you know where it is you're going, and just you're determined to get there, and everything that you have just beelined into making that happen. Like I have good focus, but like when you get on a mission, like it's ridiculous. And the other one is you somehow have this superpower to just create communities. And I don't understand it. Like, not in terms of like you're not an awesome person, because clearly you are, but like I keep getting pulled into your orbit with different with different communities. So like there's like groups that I'm a part of, like small and big, where it's just like it's only happened because you kind of made it happen, and I don't know how, and I know that you have no idea how either. Like it's just a superpower. So yeah, they're my two, I think.
Aww. I'm embarrassed. Let's move on.
No, let's let that sit for a minute.
Oh, come on.
Adam Dixon says, what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out, for example, has one book or novel completed or about to be completed? I'll let you go.
This is so hard because there are so many millions of things that you can do and say. And all right, this is probably controversial. So the first thing I'm going to say is don't throw everything into marketing that book, because the chance, lightning strikes happen, right? Nobody can deny somebody will publish their book and it will hit the New York Times bestseller list, but they really are 1 in a billion. If you're going to be indie, then this is the long game, and everybody talks about the long game, but nobody really understands, like nobody really explains how fucking grueling this long game actually is. And the thing is, it might not be your first book, it might not be your 5th book, it might not be your 3rd series, it might not be your 5th series that takes off. But what happens once you've got those 5 series over 12 years is that all of a sudden selling 2, 3, 4 books a day of each one of those books, and you have 50, 60, 100 grand a year income. And so the thing about having one book is to do your best and to try and put it out there and to try and grow some readers. But really, everybody says write a new book, and they don't explain why you need to write a new book. And it's literally because this is a numbers game, and eventually something sticks. And if it doesn't stick, you will have enough books in, once you have 20, 30 books, it is enough books to sustain a full-time career. Even if you're only selling a couple of copies a day, and that's why you need to write another book. So it isn't just because, you need to sub another book, or you need to, finish the series or whatever. It's because this is a game of numbers. It is literally a game of numbers. And so, yeah, like, I suppose my advice is to write a reader magnet, try and build your mailing list, and then get another book, another 2 books, another 5 books, another 10 books out. And all the while, each time you're writing a new book, just do little bits of marketing as you can. Like, don't stress yourself into the ground about marketing, because you build your readers slowly over time. Like, it literally does happen. As long as you're doing something, as long as you're doing a sale here, a promo there, a newsletter swap there, eventually over the years, it will build enough that you can do this full time if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, mine's pretty much the same as yours. Mine is understand that your first book isn't going to be your best book. And I think it amazes me, because I was in exactly the same position writing my first book, where you put so much work into it, because to write a book is an achievement. And it's an achievement that 98% of the population never get to the end of. And to actually publish that book, the chances are even smaller. So if you've written a book, you're the minority and you've done an amazing thing. Pat yourself on the back. If you then publish that book, you've done an even more incredible thing. And you shouldn't allow the number of readers to be a judge of your book's substance or who you are as a writer. Because if I judged my ability to play basketball by the first time I threw a ball at a hoop, like I'd get nowhere. And I'm, by the way, not saying like I'm in any way like an expert basketballer. I used to play like on a team, and that was kind of the extent of it. But the point is, writing that first book, like the thing that always makes me laugh is the amount of people writing their first book that say, oh, this is my process. And I'm like, how do you know this is your first book? Like, tell me what your process is when you get to book 4 or 5, because like you have to keep practicing, you have to keep learning, you have to keep just trying and going at it until you can understand what kind of writer you are. And I think a lot of people, understandably, sink a lot of time into that first book because of the amount of pressure they put on themselves to be like, this is the book that's going to make me money. And like Sacha says, it's cumulative. It's, you know, you learn. Like, I'm looking at my first couple of books at the minute and thinking I'm probably going to re-edit them either later this year or next year, because who I am now is considerably further ahead than who I was 5-6 years ago. And it's just the journey. It's just, if you're writing your first book, you've done an amazing thing, and that's wicked. Just push it and like be proud of yourself. Then go on and write the next book, because that's the beginning of your journey. Whether you're going trad, whether you're indie, whatever you're going to do, if you want to make this some kind of, you know, living for you, that's the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
What, Sacha?
I was just whispering.
What are you doing to ruin my beautiful poetic moment?
Well, you were just waffling on. You said either trad or indie, and I was like, indie.
Well, yeah.
Looking
Clearly.
at someone in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, oh look, it's Yanni's question. It's almost like I was talking to her. Okay, so Yanni's.
I think that was gin in her cup, Yanni.
Yeah, Yanni says, Holly will know this question, but if you could go back in time and write a book ahead of the original author, what book would you write?
Anatomy of Prose.
You dick. That's hilarious. Seriously though.
I don't know. There's so many good books. So many good books. I think one that has just stuck with me for years, I absolutely love everything about it, is Nick Cutter's The Troop. Because I was lucky enough to interview him on the Story Studio podcast when I did that with Luke a couple of years ago. A guy called, his real name's Craig Ferguson, I think. Craig Davison. And he, number one, is an amazing guy, just really, really nice. And he writes other things, but he has his pen name Nick Cutter for horror. But The Troop was one of the first books where I could smell the horror. Like his mastery of the senses in that book just added another dimension to what I was reading. And like, apparently that was something that he deliberately tried to do. He did all of his regular passes of, you know, this is a story, this is what I want to achieve. And then he did his final pass of, all right, how can I incorporate other senses that aren't typically used? So like, you can smell stuff, you can taste stuff, you can feel how things feel. And it's just a beautifully crafted book. So probably that one. Although Faye says that I should rewrite Salem's Lot. She's obsessed with vampires.
I find this a really hard question to answer, because there are books that I love, like Addie LaRue, but who doesn't love Addie LaRue, you know? Or like The House on Cerulean Sea. And, you know, these are like, yeah, I mean, you haven't, just, you're a dick. So, you know, like I could say those, and I don't really want to. I feel like I want to say a book that had an impact on me in a different way. So I am going to say Our Chemical Hearts, which is by Crystal Sutherland, who I got to interview today, which was a bit of a moment for me, and I definitely fangirled. And okay, so the reason I'm choosing this book is because it is the pinnacle of rip your heart out young adult contemporary fiction. It is an anti-romance novel. And it is the first book that I read after university, after I had a child, where I was getting back into reading. I sat down, and I told her this today, and I said thanks as well, because like, I don't know, sometimes it's nice to thank an author who changed your life. Anyway, so I sat down at 6 p.m. and opened this book, and it was 1 a.m. when I got back up and I had finished the book. And it's the first book that I read cover to cover without like moving. And I hadn't done that in so long. And it reminded me how much I love story and the emotional journey in a story, and how much I love, and how much I love romance, and like specifically young adult romance. Like that first moment when you fall in love is so exquisitely painful, and I just adore it. Like that first heartbreak, oh, like I am getting chills even thinking about it. And like it was such a perfect book for the book that I needed in that moment. And yeah, and so I, not necessarily because it's, you know, the best book ever written, but just because I was so in love with that book. I think that is the book that I wish I could have written.
I love it. Faye says she hates Stephen King, so I'm probably just going to ignore her comments from here on out. Rianne says, who isn't obsessed with vampires? Fair point. Yanni's question, by the second anniversary video, what do you want to have achieved? #accountability.
Wow, brutal, savage, absolutely horrifically mean.
I want to be in a position in which all my client work is chosen by moi.
Oof, does that mean what I think it means?
Don't know.
Okay.
Might have to talk about that off air.
Yeah, I think so. I won't probe any further.
Maybe. But yeah, I want to be in a position in which all my work is chosen. Because like, don't get me wrong, I'm in a very like nice position, and I don't ever forget that. But like, I want to level up.
Oh, I have to answer. I want an audiobook out. Like I need to just fucking finish the audiobook. I need to do that. So I'm committing to do that. Yeah.
Pick something else. Jesus Christ. I thought we said you were hungry, competitive. You've got a year to do this, and you picked an audiobook that's going to take you 3 weeks. Finish that workbook by Friday. People are watching you, Sacha.
I am not going to rise to the deep, deep, frothing, boiling rage that I feel in my gut right now. I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Holly says, what genre do you think?
You've not answered the question.
I did.
Is that your answer? You want to do an audiobook? This time next year, you want to do an audiobook. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yours isn't exactly hard. You're basically there anyway.
Not.
Don't fucking try and call me out like that.
Holly says, what genre do you think would be the hardest for you to write, and why?
No. Fuck you, Danielson. What is it you think
the hardest one for me to write would probably be romance. Like, I just don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that I could write happy romance.
Yeah, well,
I believe that's horror then, wouldn't
it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, like genuinely, I don't know that I could write it. I don't know. I can't write GUI. That's my answer.
I can't believe you can't write romance.
I may have romantic moments in my books, but not. I think right. I can write. I believe.
Can you?
Romance.
Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
What I can't write is what I imagine romance is as a genre. Not that I've ever really read a romance book, so this is complete assumptions. I'm sorry if I offend any romance authors.
It's because you're dead inside.
Yeah. This is why we work so well. But like the whole everything works out wonderful, and it's Mr. Right and Mrs. Right, and they're going to go off into the sunset, and it's all going to be fine. Like I can't. Like for me, in my books I like to reflect reality, and I don't see much of that in reality. So
okay, historical fiction, because I'm just not detail orientated. So
Fair.
I think I just fuck it up massively. It's either got to be that or horror, and it's not because of the gore, because I quite like dark things, obviously. It's more that like maybe horror is the wrong thing. What I don't like is when the protagonist dies. Well, we've talked about this quite a few times over the last few weeks. I get really pissy when they kill off the protagonist. It really fucks me off. And obviously that's something that happens in horror, but I would say probably historical romance. I would like to, I have an idea for a book that's set in ancient civilization, because I would need it to be far enough away that I'm not going to fuck anything up. Because if Like people will be like, you've got the name of that is actually this. And I'd just be like, I don't care. And so I just can't write historical fiction because
Stephen
the
Pressfield
readers
on
care.
The Creative Pen a couple of weeks ago addressed that, where he was basically talking about how much of his is actually accurate. And he talks about periods in which there's a distinct lack of evidence of what actually happened. So you do have an area where you can make things up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'll go back and listen to that.
Yanni says my next forfeit is to write romance.
I really like that. I'm going to remember
blow
that.
you all away. Be the best damn romance you've ever seen between two dead people.
That's called necrophilia, darling. Necrophilia.
No, not if they're both dead.
I mean, technically it's still necrophilia.
Okay. Brett says, would you both ever consider collaborating on a book, bringing your favorite genres together? YA, fantasy, horror, for example.
Oh my God. Like, we cannot. I can't write with him every day. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, I genuinely have no idea. It's not really something we've spoken about either. Like, I don't think we can. I don't know. Yeah, we're quite far apart in terms of our fiction.
Yeah, we are.
Like,
we are
even
really
your
far
Rebel
apart.
Diaries, I kind of want to submit, but at the same time, I know that whatever I submit is an instant rejection. So.
Oh, what? Just because? Like, why?
It will not fit your brief.
It won't fit my brief because it's going to be too much horror.
Yes.
You could just tone it down just for me.
Yeah, that'll work. Sup, Jackie?
Hey!
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe a non-fic.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, because I'm not going to. Yes, maybe one day we'll do that.
Do we have any more questions? We have Romeo and Juliet, #zombie romance. Warm Bodies was Romeo and Juliet with zombies. That is true. I think I've seen that. Love Isaac Marion.
Who is Isaac Marion?
Cassie, explain yourself if you wish. He wrote Warm Bodies. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Have we come to the end?
Yeah, I think we're winding down on questions, so that seems like a good place to leave it. But thank you.
Do you know what? Ooh. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to.
English. You don't know how to end the stream. I'm pretty sure that when I start recording,
I found it. It's fine. It's
fine.
Don't
do it yet. People are still listening. This stays in the podcast. So
I worked it out. I can stop the stream without ending the call. It's fine.
Okay, good. Oh my God. So thank you everyone so much for being a part of not just today's episode, but just Next Level Authors over the last year. Like, it was a very sort of spur of the moment thing that we started, and like the fact that you guys are here and getting involved and like it's helping you guys as well is something that obviously me and Sacha absolutely love. So thank you guys, patrons. Thank everyone on Facebook who is currently watching live and has commented. Thank you to everyone who listens on a regular basis. One thing that we haven't spoken about that let's commit to doing this next week is we need to talk about launching our Next Level Up challenge, because we're heading into the second quarter. So keep an eye out for that, because that's going to be very exciting and we hope you all get involved.
Well,
don't do it now, Sacha.
No. What I was going to... Oh, wait, no, because this goes live tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll do that for next week. Carry on.
Okay. So one more time for people listening, the question is, which episode had the most impact on you? And we'll leave it there. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hungry for more?
If you enjoyed this podcast, you can hear more of my angelic accent and Dan's dulcet tones on our other podcasts.
For more of me, check out the Great Writer Share podcast.
For more of me, listen to the Rebel Author podcast. We'll be back next week holding each other to account as Dan
and Sacha
become
Next Level
Authors.
We're back.
Dan, come back. You always leave. leave. I think I'm doing a really good impression of Dan. Like, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I think this is amazing. Dan, come back. You're always leaving. Don't leave me. You need to come back. We have to do the podcast. No, I'm just being a twat. All by myself. Wow. Feel lonely. Feel like I realise what I've done to him now. Just kidding. He deserves it. Ooh, Dad. Hey, don't wanna be. What is he doing? She's fucking wandering around his bloody house. Get here, son. Jesus, Dan. This is like 5 times the length of me ever having disappeared. Could you just hurry up? Now? Come up, look, see, and you appeared because you don't want your dirty secrets being told. So no, we are done. I am going to tell everybody. Hi.
Hello, Sacha.
You're going to enjoy watching that back.
I hope so. Wondered if it would ever go to my side. Happy anniversary.
Cheers, boo.